Hi, welcome to your quest. If you arrive here because you want to learn more about fasting, maybe give it a try, and see what benefits you can get to your body, I am so happy that you are here because you are about to discover something that can change your life. And you're going to learn about fasting and so much more. You're going to do all these practices, and even if you do fasting already and you are interested in mastering this practice, or you're interested in integrating this with all the things, then I'm so happy that you are here as well, because this is exactly what this quest is about. We're going to use fasting, intermittent fasting, as a main framework. But there are so many other things that will happen within this framework, that this quest is not only about fasting, it goes beyond that. It's actually about body mastery. It's actually about how you integrate things that happen in your body and things that happen in your mind, so that you bring together the experiences that you want to have in life with a body that supports that, and all these different practices on nutrition and fasting that allows this connection to happen. A lot of our journey will be around intermittent fasting and other techniques that we combine that with. And so with that, it's very important to talk about who is fasting for and who is fasting not for. The main distinction, what we want to have clear, is fasting is for everyone who is have a healthy state of their bodies and no history of a food disorder. And if you're wondering who is fasting not for, there are a couple of situations that we don't recommend fasting. And the situations are: one, if you are a child or teenager or elderly; if you are a pregnant or breastfeeding woman; if you are severely underweight; if you have any food history with food disorders; or if you have any diabetes or any disease that is related to blood sugar control, or any other type of health condition that requires you to have medications together with food in the specific times of the day. If this is any of your case, then fasting is not recommended. But if you're not sure, if you don't have any of these cases, but are not sure if fasting is okay, don't take this quest as a medical advice. Make sure that you work with your doctor, with your physician, to be sure that you are safe for a fasting practice. Going forward, one thing that I want to get clear as well on is how we are working together, because we'll be in a journey for 4 weeks now, and we're going to do a intermittent fasting practice every day, and we're going to have videos and learn about different things. And there's a style that I apply when I'm working on health and fitness with you throughout this next 4 weeks. The main style that I apply, that you will see throughout these next weeks, is that I like to be more to play the role of a coach, not so much to play the role of a trainer. What I mean by this is that I won't be telling you exactly what to do and when to do things. I say, here's your recipe, here's what you gotta do, and do 10 repetitions now. Mostly I prefer to set the ground. Say, this is how you apply this technique. If you go to direction A, this is what you get. If you go to direction B, this is what you get. What is best for you? I don't want to make decisions for you, because I've been doing health and fitness for such a long time, and most of the issues that I got was when I was working with someone that said, you need to do A, B, and C, but it was not exactly what matched my goals or my body. And so this process was not only a fasting program, but also a understanding of your goals, for your vision and goals for your body, and how different things work in taking you in that direction. So most of the times I'll be laying the ground, trying to make things as clear as possible, but always asking you to decide which one makes more sense. There's no clear rule that you have to do or that is right or wrong. There are things that will be clear to you, and you'll be given the choice depending on what feels right to you at the moment. A lot of things that I learned with my dad when I was a kid. My dad is a car mechanic. And when I was 9, more or less, I remember that he brought me to the garage and he asked, Ronan, I have the car hood open. I want you to change the water of the radiator. And I didn't know what the radiator was and why would you put water inside that thing. And what he told me is that one day you're going to own your own car. And you need to know how these different pieces work. You know, how the basic understanding of the functioning of a car. Because if one day you stop the car stops working in the middle of the highway, you can at least do the emergency work yourself. And if you take to a mechanic, you will know if the guy understands what he's saying, if he's making a decision that is actually good for your car, or he doesn't know what he's saying. And you also be able to know if the car is performing well because you understand the basics. And today I don't own a car, but I own a body, and I like the same principle. I think that what makes body mastery a thing is not applying techniques, but is looking at the radiator, say, hey, this is the thing, they put water and this is how it works. What if instead of putting cold water, I add hot water, or I add salted water, and I start realizing, and there's some trial and error and some clarity, and now I understand how different pieces of my body work. That's the journey that I want to facilitate to you. You own a body, and I want you to have a basic understanding of different pieces. Because if it kind of stops working in the middle of the highway, you can repair things yourself. If you work with a personal trainer, with a doctor, with a nutritionist, you're not blind to what they're saying. You can consult them and work together with them on what is best for you. And you can identify when your body is performing high or is performing low, because now you have the senses of understanding. This quest is going to be 4 weeks of daily videos, with the exception of Sundays. So from Mondays to Saturdays, we're going to have daily videos, and they are usually 15 to 20 minutes. And each video, each day, has a couple of tasks, a couple of actions to implement on the day itself. On week 1, we're going to be building the basics, the intermittent fasting window, and learning the basics of how intermittent fasting works, and also working on all the mindset aspects that is an inner and outer journey, right? So you're changing eating habits, but you're also changing self-image. We're also working our goals and vision for the body. On the second week, now we are bringing not only working on when we eat, that's what intermittent fasting does, but also how and why we eat, and bringing more intentionality to different meals and nutrients that we bring to our bodies. And then on week 3, we are taking control over what we bring to our bodies. And you see that there'll be ways of trying different meals and being intentional with the type of, we're changing a little bit more of the what we eat to make sure that it matches the goals that we have. And on the last week, we are exploring edge cases. You know, what happens when if I'm fasting when I'm traveling, or if I'm going out to eat at night, or if I'm staying in a hotel and things like this. How do I do fasting and all these principles in those exceptional cases? And this is the advanced part of mastering intermittent fasting. To make the best out of this quest, what I recommend you is one that you have a set time in the day to watch the videos, because they are daily videos, of course, but preferably do this early in the day, because a lot of these videos will talk about things that we are going to do in the meal going forward. So today during lunch, or today during dinner, or things like this. So if you watch them early in the day, you are ready to execute the tasks and do the actions during the day itself. We also have a fasting journal, also known as workbook, that for this quest will be particularly important. Because fasting is only part of the framework, but there's a lot of the reflection and thought and a lot of things to process while we're going through this that maximizes what you get out of this practice. And the whole fasting journal has a framework, week by week, day by day, that takes you through this journey, and you can get so much more if you prepare that journal. You can either use the journal itself that you can get on day 1, or you can get a notebook, a little journal for you to take the notes of this quest in that specific place. The next point is the self-assessment that you do also as part of the fasting journal. You're gonna have that on day 1, and there are a couple of questions that set where you are in the beginning, and we're gonna also do the self-assessment in the end. A couple of things regarding eating habits, but also if you wanna measure your body weight or body fat composition or take a picture of the body and see what happens at the end. Depending on your goals, you may lose weight. Depending on your goals, you may gain weight, if that makes sense. And then you want to see if you want to track that transformation. This is also part of the self-assessment that you can do. And especially in this quest, you want to make sure that you are engaged, that you join and you are engaged with your tribe. Not only because sharing a fasting experience is much more meaningful and easier to do, especially if you're the only one in your household who is doing intermittent fasting. Sometimes it feels a bit lonely experience. And then you have this whole group of people do, yeah, you just broke my fast right now. It makes so much better. But also, because remember, I'm not going to be training you and telling you exactly what to do and give you a one-size-fits-all for everyone. I'm going to give you a framework. And there are a couple of things that you need to make choices based on what makes sense to you. And so you will connect in the tribe with people that have the same goals and have the same circumstances, where you can pull examples from, or you can share how you customize certain tools and certain frameworks that we are using. So connecting with the tribe not only brings accountability, but it can bring you a lot of clarity and answers throughout the entire quest. And of course, fasting is a lifestyle, and so going forward, maybe even after the quest, you can remain in touch for the next steps of this growth journey. I am so excited that you are here and so excited that you are about to start. I hope that you are too, and I will see you on day 1.